Right, hello everyone. Today I'm going to do another Vaquform with a mold that I've made a long time ago for my trike, but I never actually got to do anything with it because I had a problem with those, I don't know what they're called, bulgy things at the back. And so this is the first part of a 3-part mold for a deltawing, like the deltawing that Nissan raced at Le Mans a few years ago, a while ago I should say. And so this is a body that is designed for the narrow version of the trike, so using the super shorty batteries, not the shorty batteries. And I thought that I should finish it and I should try to make it work, because the problem the first time, it was very early on with me designing mold before I even had the Vaquform, just thinking about getting it, and I did everything with a very straight angles, and so those little boobsy things got stuck in the mold, in the form once I did it, and then they broke off, and then I just never touched the mold again. So I have redone those. I've done them with an angle. They are not straight anymore. They're a little bit smaller as well, and so I'm hoping that this is going to work. This being the very first form that I'm doing today, I have the feeling there's going to be a lot of webbing, but I don't care. What I want to see is if I can actually remove it from the mold once I've done it. Webbing is something I can deal with later on. So I'm at 136 degrees right now and rising. It's like the countdown for SpaceX launch. And we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to wear my little glovies. Alright, so keep your fingers crossed with me. I think my son is going to do the pulling with me. You want to do the pulling?
I have a new one.
Yeah, do you have all your tools with you? Alright. Alright, that's my little helper. It's child labor, don't tell anyone. Alright, I'm on 145. Oh yeah, you have buddy as well.
I'm working on this.
Alright, work on this one and I work on the big one. You see, teamwork makes the dream work. Alright. The plastic is melting, the temperature is rising. Let's do it. Hopefully nothing explodes. Go. Oh, that's gonna be webbing mania. So in between here, I don't think there's gonna be a way that I don't get the webbing. The webbing over here, I might be able to get away the second time around. I'm not so sure. This is a pretty tall point in the mold. Now everything is being molded really well on all sides, as far as I can tell. There is a lot of shapes in the back, but the big story with this one is, can it actually be released from the PETG sheet once it's out of the machine? That is going to be the big question we are going to answer today. Alright, brother, let's be done with it. Thank you. So, like I said before, I planned for webbing, and webbing there is, but I don't really care about that. I'm thinking about 0.5 mm, but I really would like to do this in 1 mm thickness, just for the strength of it, because there's going to be a nose part that is not structural. The body is attached to the chassis on these 3 points here, so I'd like to have something a bit sturdy. Okay, the air is coming underneath, so this is ready to come out. Let's take a look at what we got here. So webbing here, I kind of expected to have the webbing in between here. There should actually be a fin in the middle here, but I'm thinking it's going to create so much problem that I'm going to do it in a separate piece. The webbing over there, I don't think I'm going to care for it, but the webbing behind the driver's head, I gotta find a way to get rid of it, so might have to do a little bevel here or something. I shall see. So I'm going to cool down the mold a little bit in front of the aircon, and then I'll come back to you with the painfully realistic unmolding process. See you in a second. Bye buddy. Right, now this has cooled down a little bit, and now it's gonna be time. So the other thing as well that I had before is that originally I had thought that spray painting to get a coat over the 3D print would help to have a very smooth surface, which it does help to have a very smooth surface, but it sticks very violently to the hot plastic as well. So I've sanded it before. Hopefully I have done enough sanding for it to not stick to the plastic this time. We have some release over here. We have some release over there. Okay, the front is coming out, so this is a good news. This part is coming out. I think I shall, because you see all those are actually, I should show you here, those are actually engraved inside, so those are kind of holding on the back, and it's a pretty substantial flat panel at the back, so this is gonna have to be released. Now I think I still have a little bit of gluing issue with the paint. Hold on, I think we're going to move to the ground where I shall have a better area. Wow. Everything is under control. Alright, we're gonna do it from here because the desk is a bit tight for me. Okay, so this is releasing fairly well. Yeah, this is a little bit sticky. It's not really... Okay, that's just stickiness I think from the paint, but this is coming out now. And this is really sticky on this side. So, okay, but now this is coming out nicely. Now, the question is those two domes. Oh, they came out. Look at that. So I kind of butchered my forming that time around, but look at that. This is pretty cool. Now it's not perfect. I do have pretty substantial webbing issues over there, but for the rest of the mold I'm fairly happy. You can see a little bit of the paint that's sticked inside, so I guess now we're gonna do it a second time. It should help. I might keep the protective film inside this time in order for the paint to stick to the protective film instead of the plastic sheet. So let's do that. We are back over there. There's so much action going on. Alright, and so 1mm is working fairly well. Now I'm going to open a nice gift from the wonderful people at Vaquform, which is a big pack of 1mm PETG. So let's give them a plug because those guys are awesome. Here you go. PETG 1mm 20 sheets. I'm going fairly soon to do some testing with polycarbonates, basically Lexan, that I've ordered to be cut to the size of this machine to a factory in China for the purpose of doing the RC bodies in Lexan instead of PETG. Now the only reason why I want to do it is not actually because the PETG is an issue at all. I think actually PETG is a really good material for RC body shells, but people who play RC cars are creatures of habit, and understandably it's a kind of a traditional hobby. Things have been slowly evolving, but people like to keep things the same along the years. And one of the things really is when you get the PETG body in your hand, it really feels different from a Lexan body. So I want to be able to give the same experience to people when they get the body from me than when they get a regular body from another brand, just so they don't have the weirdness of holding something in their hand that's just so different. Now PETG is nice in my opinion because it is it's softer, it moves more easily. You see, Lexan is really brittle. You get these kind of cuts. Now I have these kind of cuts as well on the PTG after a while, but it feels just a little bit more, how to say, like elastic, a little bit more supple. So I don't know, it's just, I think it's a great material, and I think it's got its place in the RC things, but I'm going to try the Lexan. Now, this guy, should I try to reverse it? Now, you're gonna call me superstitious. It doesn't make any difference to do it one way or the other, but sometimes it actually does make a difference. So, I think I'm gonna try it this way this time. And because you see, actually, one of the problem when you make a mold that have high points like that is that when you pull the sheet down when it's hot and when the vacuum is activated, those kind of, it's like if you were putting like a light, you know, a table light, and you're putting a drape on top of it, that you would have a lot of wrinkles from the high points down. And so that's what happened, is that when the plastic touches here, it starts to create some long ripples all around the side, and that is what causes webbing in that case. Now in between here, the webbing is happening between those two bulging parts just because those are really high points. There's a really low point in between. He's got a hard time displacing enough material to not have a webbing here, which over there is really not important. The paint is not going to go through there. It's kind of going to give a little bit of structural strength between the two. It's going to remain transparent. I don't mind at all. But this is something to think about. That's the problem I have with the LMP body. The big fin at the back of the car is creating webbing. Once again, once you've painted it and put the stickers on, it doesn't matter in any way, shape or form, but it does happen. So I'll see, I'll do it this way. I have no idea why. I kind of balanced the four clamps that attaches the plate, but it seems like I have more webbing when I put straight parts on the right side of the machine than if I put them on the left. But because I had so much webbing just now, I'm going to do it this way around. And we'll see, we're at 134 degrees, so it's slowly coming up. And I'll really be happy if this body can work, because this is actually kind of what kickstarted the project for me when I did my first freewheel. The first body I had a discussion about with someone at the RC track who wrote the deltawing. And I think it's pretty cool because it's going to be almost to scale with the 110, 112-ish cars. And it is actually a freewheel race car, so it's actually a four-wheel race car. It looks like a freewheel race car with the super pointy arrow nose. Alright, my friends, time for the second half of Vaquform Adventures. Are you ready? I am not. Let's do it! It's the same webbing everywhere. So really the problem are those high points are a big issue. Okay, I think I have an idea. Maybe if I get rid of those bulges on the top, I'm not sure. Hey? What are you doing here?
I'm done my video.
Oh, you're in the video?
I'm already done.
You say hi?
Hi.
Alright, so I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do, and I'll come back with more updates very soon on the deltawing for the Trike 1.1. Bye bye.